I would also like to understand before we adopt an amendment to the policy that would again be closing only non-air conditioned schools, if we don't understand from the state superintendent whether in fact he did get a response from the state superintendent that she will grant waivers. That's what this said. That is what we voted on.
All right, thank you. Ms. Miller.
No, there's a question there for Dr. Dance, and then I have additional comments.
That question all night. I've had conversations with the state superintendent. The state superintendent every year approves individual school waivers, such as the Hereford zone. We have to close those. I have to submit a letter to the state superintendent to waive the days in those schools. I've had conversations with her. As she's advised me, though, we want to make sure we're protecting as much instructional time as we can. But she has the authority to grant individual school waivers. The Board of Ed for the state has to grant district waivers. When we made that recommendation to PRC at that particular point, we would have to close schools for the entire system if we're going to close half day. There's no way I can get buses back around to close just those 37 schools half day and then be able to start high school dismissal right around 2 o'clock. So it's either we close the 37 schools for the day, or you have to close the entire school system for half day.
Well, one of the things the question that I wanted to ask Mr. Smith, I guess, or you, is instead of a 2-hour dismissal, if it's a 3-hour early, does that allow enough time for the buses to dismiss the 37 schools 3 hours early before they have to get to the high schools? Because 3 hours early will still allow our students to get to school, and if they have breakfast or lunch that they require, then that would be good. They could have a compressed schedule, connect with every teacher, turn in homework, have some instruction, and then take home homework. So it would really help if we could have that transportation issue settled. And it's
No, that's a very legitimate question. The only issue is you have 37 unair conditioned schools at elementary, middle, and high. All of our buses are tiered. So if all of our buses are tiered, and they have schools around the entire county. So if I'm going to dismiss those schools 3 hours early, there's still no way for them to make it around because they're going to be driving for different levels. If it was all high school, absolutely I could do it. But if it's elementary, middle, and high, there's no way I can do it. In addition, we have elementary schools who are on 2 tiers. So we have late start arrival elementary schools and early start. So we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to either have to close the entire system half day, which we can do 2-3 hours early, however the board would ask me to do it, or we would have to just close those 37 schools.